That was terrible. Waking up the next night whilst harshly grabbing at her chest where she was speared through, Yin then let out a small exhale of breath. These emotions, how can I beat them? How can I distract them enough so I can have time to find the original body? That's how I win, right? By finding the main body? Ugh, I wish that Muzan would give me, an instruction manual on how he wanted me to defeat each demon. Just guessing is annoying. Removing herself from her futon and folding it up nicely before placing it in the corner of her room, Yin then slid the door open and stepped out, looking right and left before calling out for Nakime. At the twang of her biwa, Yin found herself in front of Nakime, who had been commanded by Muzan to do whatever it was that you desired, with the exemption of allowing you to leave. Nakime, is there anywhere to train? You questioned, finding the atmosphere between you and Nakime a bit awkward since she knew the demon woman didn't much care for her. Is there a specific place with obstacles and I can go train besides the room I've been going to do at the upper moons? Nakime didn't say anything, only strumming her instrument again to teleport Yin into a different room. The girl spinning around in awe at the space she found herself in. The room contained large walls etched within a great maze filled with what looked like traps and turned into an obstacle course. There was also what looked to be different types of boulder weights and ropes she could use to train her strength as well. Blinking rapidly at everything she could use within the room to hone her body, she immediately set to work. After stretching to make sure her body was loose, she then took off within the maze, running and dodging the obstacles within whilst trying to make sure she could reach the end. This is amazing! I can definitely use this space to help myself overcome Hentenku's emotions. Sliding to the ground on her knees to avoid a sensor that slid out of the wall, hissing from the friction against her skin, she hopped back up before another blade swung at her close to the ground, breathing out a heavy sigh of relief when dodging that section of the maze. She squeaked in shock when having to jump up again when a part of the floor fell out when she had put her weight onto it. It was almost like a twisted version of hopscotch, but if she stepped on it wrong, she would suffer a fate worse than kids teasing. Well, at least I technically can't die. As Spear started jolting out of the walls as well, Yin launched herself forwards like she were a gymnast and swung her body around so that her feet landed on the handle. Slowly moving upwards to that, she was on top of the maze, walking along the walls as a quick pace to improve both her balance and agility, but to survey what qualities the rest of the labyrinth of traps had. She cursed when seeing a double-bladed axe released from the ceiling and swung down towards her. A section of the wall opened up and sent a flurry of needles towards her. Another slammed down on her, and yet another one opened up to reveal rifles and guns that shot bullets at her. Yin had felt her entire body was cracking after she finished the maze, her muscles sore and strained, while her breathing was labored and short. But no matter how much she hurt, she continued to go to the training room for a week after her fight with Hentenku. She couldn't allow herself to remain weak, since she had to turn into a demon to make it sure she made it through the start of the anime. And only then would the timelines reconnect itself and she could go home. So, I can see my family again. Even if it's an amazing and once-in-a-lifetime chance, it still doesn't beat friends and family. After asking Nakime to transport her to the training room again, having noticed that everything about her, from her strength to her speed, was improving, Yin startled when seeing Muzan already present in the space. What is he doing here? It's been 2 weeks since I last saw him. Kibutsuji. she muttered as she took a step backwards, a bit cautious around him since he was acting strangely around her before he left. What are you doing here? I mean, he did threaten to rip out your tongue. Are you really asking me that? Muzan questioned as he approached her, the back of his hand barely brushing against her cheek, yet that being all it took for her to feel the rigid coldness of his skin. And after 2 weeks of not seeing me, isn't that a bit too harsh, Yin? Jerking her head away, not noticing his eyes narrowing, she then said, You still didn't answer my question. I wanted to see you. Puzzled, washed through her. Even so, when he took her hand in his and pulled her close, his other hand grasping her waist tightly, he didn't seem to notice her discomfort, and even if he did, he didn't seem like the type to care. I've heard of your little self-training process, Muzan muttered into her ear, his lips curling upwards as he brushed strands of her hair out of her face. To think you would go this far in working to become one of my demons. I have to say that you have become all the more desirable. Right, she muttered, placing her hands against his chest to put at least some distance between them. He only rejected this. I missed you greatly, he continued, his grip tightened on her, never wavering, their noses so close they almost touched. Don't keep forcing me away. Finally, having enough of Muzan's strange behavior, Yin shoved him away as heat flushed through her entire body at his words, her expression twitching with irritation and disbelief before she demanded, Okay, what is going on? Before you left, you threatened me and told me you didn't even want to be around me. And now you're acting as if you've missed me this entire time. What is... Before she could even finish her sentence, Muzan shoved her against the wall, his hand curling around her throat to force her head up to meet his eyes. With no hesitation, he pressed his lips against hers. It's time for Toagawa Era Secrets. Muzan commanded Nakime some time ago to ensure she met Yin's eyes needed when it came to her wanting to move around the fortress. Yin actually likes Muzan clinging onto her, though she'll never admit it since she feels such an acknowledgement would only distract her from her quest to go home. The entire time Muzan was away from Yin, he was thoroughly irritated. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. By the way, I really don't know why, but Giyu's up next. Sorry to all you fans of Kokoshibo. I have to find a book. I'm so sorry. But oh my god, Giyu will be coming back. You remember those yokai stories? Well, it's been updated. Mwah!